Hello. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm back, Elaine Marolakos Edelson with Astrology Mojo. And I want to help you get your mojo back. How is everyone in this Happy New Year 2020? I put this background on because it reminds me of what's happening right now. There's so many portals of energy that are open right now. Capricorn lineup. Oh my gosh. Sun, Saturn, Pluto, Venus, Mercury, Moon. No, Moon in Cancer. Lunar Eclipse. Yeah. Coming up on the 10th. But we're in it. We've been in it for weeks. So come and say hello to me. Hi, Vicky's here. What's your sign? And every time I want to say that, I want to sing that song, you know. Who's your daddy? Is he rich? Is he rich like me? And then it's been a kind of wacky vibe here with me. I've been feeling so many things, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Yesterday, I actually felt like I was in another dimension. And then I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I thought our next door neighbor had their porch light on, but instead it was the moon, and it was so white, clear. It looked like I could see right through it. It was almost an illusion. Freaky. Hey. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. So we're going to be talking about the Capricorn eclipse lineup, which we're still in the vibe of, and then the lunar eclipse in Cancer, which we're in. Now, if you have any planets in Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, or Aries, you're going to feel it the most. And also if you have any Capricorn or Cancer, Sun, rising moon, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, you will also feel this the most. But everybody's going to feel it. Hey, Vicky's a Cap. Renee said, missed you. Hope your holidays were good to you. You know what? The holidays are always good. Thank you so much. And thank you for missing me. Thank you. I feel missed. I feel like I missed something. Time. Like, was I driving? Honestly, I had no sense of time the past couple of weeks. And because I am a Capricorn rising, I am downloading so much information, and I have been asking and meditating and in prayers with my starseed, with all my angels, with my light workers, to please help me heal on the core level, which means the fear has to come up first and the resistance. So the past couple of weeks, it's been a ride, I'll tell you. Yeah, healing the ride. Hey, Elizabeth's here. And Deborah has a Mars in Cancer, so you will feel this eclipse. Christine woke up crying last night, not sure why. Well, in our house yesterday, there was out of sorts, there was anger, there was depression, there was sadness, there was mixed emotions, there was everything, but there was always hugs and hand-holding. And it's been a lot, you know. Let's see, my child is a Cancer moon, Taurus, Cancer moon. Husband is a Cancer sun, and I'm a Capricorn rising. So this particular series of eclipses is really powerful. And then, of course, there's a full moon vibe, and it's a bright one. So when we're looking at what we can do during this time frame, and I'm just mixing up the light cards, secret language of white, the secret language of light, just to get insight. And, you know, with the Capricorn eclipse that happened Christmas and the day after Christmas, depending on where you were in the world, what it brings up really is, how is the foundation? How is your structure? How is your the way you think about things, the way you embrace things, the way you can't escape from burdens, responsibility, or the feeling of, I have to get something done because if it's not me, no one will get it done. And then you get stuck in a loop and you can't stop the motion, you know, or it's the feeling of there's a new road, new year, new decade. And in this 4 vibe that we're in, now you may not feel it as much because your numbers are going to be different. So every time you look at what you want, how you go about getting it, and how you react or respond, whether you get it or not, this is what that's a structure. That's your architecture. That's you looking at, I didn't, get the thing, or they got it and I worked twice as hard. How come I didn't get it? And so a lot of feelings are going to come up. This Cancer Capricorn axis that we're on is also part of the North and the South Node. And the South Node is what you move away from. It's what you're letting go of. And the North Node is what you're moving toward. So the North Node is in Cancer. And as the North Node represents that nurturing, more allowing emotions instead of defenses or hiding or just taking one for the team, Yeah, because Capricorn will do that too. So Capricorn is the energy that builds the building that you want to live in and call it a home. Okay, it's that simple. That's what Capricorn Cancer eclipses are like. Hey, Cindy, Elizabeth says, sleeping like an adolescent. You mean till noon? And then you wake up groggy and eat French fries for breakfast? Is that it? Oh, okay. So I just pulled the visualization card. It's beautiful. Can you see that? That is so lovely. So and you see the being in the center. I don't know if it's, there you go. It's about really seeing who you want to be by keeping the visual, keeping it real, keeping it, practical. Like, oh, Capricorn's the practical energy of, I got to build on this, but without sorrow, without regret. No cry. Without that feeling of, I don't know how to get this done. The how is up to the universe, not you. You can do research. You could talk to people, experts, get readings, do body work, work on things solo, meditate, do all your stuff, a combination of your things. But if you default to, it's never going to happen, why bother? Or I just feel so crappy, sad, depressed, anxious, that I'm going to make it worse by eating sugar, carbs that turn to sugar, drinking alcohol, taking drugs, doing things that, not eating well, not exercising, watching hours and hours and hours of screen time, which can affect not only your eyes, but your brain. After 90 minutes of TV, your brain shuts down. And then what does that lost 90 minutes do? When your brain shuts down, you actually, it wakes up again when you go to bed. So then you have disturbed sleeps, your adrenals don't get to repair themselves, which begins at 10 p.m. So there's a whole cycle, right? There's this whole cycle of who are you when you don't get what you want or when you feel lost. And so you don't want to attach to the thing because it's got to flow. Look at the vibe behind me. These are streams of light. These are portals of energy that are available to you right now, all the time, but even more so during eclipses. Let's take advantage of this. Let's use this. That's why they're here. Rhonda says, hello, Happy New Year. Sai says, French fries sound good. Yeah. I'm on such a low carb diet that no potatoes, rice, pasta, nothing for me anymore. I'm down 18 pounds, feeling good most of the time, except for full moons and eclipses, where I just am wired for sound. So, the better you care for yourself, and the science is in, it is proven. It's just a matter of doing it. What you eat, how it affects you, and no one thing is for everyone. So you really have to gauge it by how you respond to a exercise or a food plan or certain supplements or herbs or whatever it is that you're doing, and see how you do it. Gauge it, just turn the dial on, I need less of that or more of this, and find your rhythm. And as you find your rhythm in this Cancer Capricorn eclipse, North Node, South Node deal, what you're going to find is your extremes first and your resistance, which comes along with the fear. It's like, what'll happen? Well, what'll happen if I do this thing? What'll happen if I don't do this thing? What'll happen? What'll it cost me? That's what you want to ask yourself. What will it cost you if you don't invest in yourself financially, energetically, spiritually, intellectually? What will it cost you? Well, sometimes we think we can rule the world. Because when we're feeling really good, we think, yeah, that's okay. I'll eat later. I'm not really hungry. Okay, well, if you're on a really fasting, true fasting kind of thing, you're making sure that you're taking nutrients via liquid and lots of water and supplements that can help you, support you during a fast. But if you're just not eating because you're busy and you're focused and you're feeling high and great, that takes a hit. Now, it takes a lot longer for your body to feel that thing, to respond to that thing. So you might be in a little little kind of a stress dance with somebody at work or at home with the family, and it's not resolved. And, suddenly you're feeling, oh, did I say something or do something? Is it me? Is it them? I don't know. And then that causes the snowball effect, right? And then you start eating crappier food because then it's like it feeds the depression and the anxiety or that place of, I don't know. And it feels good going down, but then the after effects are absolute chaos. And so, okay, so as I'm playing with the cards, I'm asking in my mind, I split my mind in several parts sometimes when I'm working, sending you vibes and energy, playing with the cards, asking for clarification on whatever I'm talking about. Let's remember, folks, you're a light being. That's what you are. You're a light being. You're a being of light. And as such, you have the responsibility to care for that vision of your spirit and to put it into the world in practical terms. The Capricorn eclipse and lineup right now that we're in this month, and your Cancer motivating factor is, where do you not nurture yourself? Where do you go to extremes? Where do you feel defensive? Where do you not allow yourself to open your heart and mind? Where do you not allow yourself to be this light being? This light being. You're not just a person in a body separate from everything else, and you eat your chips and watch your shows and you hope something good will happen, and it's like, okay, I don't know. You're so much more than that. Please understand that. One of the let me just check in with folks here. Your Cappy stepdaughter is pregnant, says Christine. Aw, congratulations, Grandma. Congratulations. And that's the kind of thing that can happen too. It's like if you've been working really hard at something, what happens is the eclipses come in and shed light, okay? Like behind me. So the solar eclipse sheds light in a much more proactive, we'll call it a masculine way. And you can see what you've been manifesting over the past 6 months or to a year. And then with the other cycles involved, with the North and South Node, we're going back 19 to 20 years. So what were you doing 19 to 20 years ago? And then if you're old enough, what were you doing 19 to 20 years before that? And you can see the pattern of what you're letting go of, what you're refusing to let go of, the kind of structure you put yourself in. It's like, I worked so hard at the computer one day that, after it was done, ow, my neck. It's like, ow. It reminds me of that scene in Guardians of the Galaxy when our gang is being chased and, there's like guys, with lasers and whatever, and the guy gets flipped over and he goes, oh, my neck. It was just so unexpected. And that's what it felt like. It's like I just was like holding stiff the whole time to get the thing done. I'm looking at the screen. I'm recording and editing my Astro Masterclass, and and I'm already in my mind behind my time schedule. But everything happens the way it needs to. And so what happens is, in between the time that I'm not working on something, I'm working on me. So even resting is working on yourself. Okay? Like the Capricorn vibe is such that it says you got to work hard to take the burden, for the team. You got to take the hit. You do it, you can get it done. But really, then Cancer comes in and says, okay, well, let's back up and be a little bit more pragmatic about this instead of so stoic. Do you need to do that now? Can you just relax a little bit more? Can you self-love? I mean, that's synonymous. That's an oxymoron. It's like saying, can you self-love? Well, you are love, and this is yourself. So what's the problem? What's the problem? Okay, so this is so amazing. My kid, who likes to go by the name Finn, that's their nickname. Finn gave me Astro dice for Christmas, okay? These are dice that have the signs on one die, the numbers for houses on the next die, and then the planets and the nodes on the third die. So this morning I was feeling so much better than the past 2 weeks. And I thought, okay, how can I help myself? What is the best way for me to help myself? And a roll of the cosmic spiritual dice led me to Venus, Neptune, 6. So that's Venus, love, beauty, art, design, the feeling of support and protection. 6th house, health, work. And Neptune, ideal vision. Using metaphysics, meditating, art, writing, being dreamy, and practical too, because Venus is there. Venus is a very practical thing, energy. So these were amazing. So now I'm just going to roll the die for this group. And in the meantime, think about the Astro Life profile that I'm going to post right here. You can get it. It's only $37, and it's for your entire life. It's all about you. It's as close as you can get to a reading with me. And I just got to move some stuff on my desk here and get my keyboard. So okay. Well, that's the link I had. It looks kind of wacky. Let's do it like this. This is your Astro Life profile. Only $37 with pages and pages of your intuitive insights. That's kind of weird. That didn't turn out to be a link. Hey, Dean, if you're listening, can you help out? Oh, there it is. Okay, that was weird. Okay, a tech thing. So head on over and get that, and then you can have more clues as to what sign your planets are in. And also I want to touch on the Mars in Sagittarius right now for the next few weeks. But first, let me roll the cosmic die for you. And this is to help everyone during this lunar eclipse in Cancer with the Capricorn lineup. Insights from star seeds, from light beings and light workers from the universe, from angels, across time, dimension, all planes of existence, karmic experience, to help you understand where to put your focus. Okay, here it is. Okay. Okay. So the focus is Venus. Whoopsie. There's Venus, okay, which is self-love and love and protection, beauty, art, design, in the sign of Cancer. Nurture yourself. There you go, Cancer. Nurture yourself during this lunar eclipse in Cancer using any method. And Venus also represents the law, protection, finances, food, art, design, and that sensual pleasure. So start giving to yourself a little bit more during this eclipse phase. And what to focus on, which house? Number 5. That's fun, that's children, grandchildren, that's romance, that's creativity, that's problem solving. So put yourself in that space, the universe is saying, of looking back. The 5 is on a rocker. 5 sits on a rocker in numerology. Okay, so, oh wait, where is it? Nah. 5 sits on a rocker, right? So it can go back and forth. It goes back to look at what you've done, and then it can move forward. But eventually it comes to that stationary place of, I want to play more. I want to feel more. I want to do more for myself that is pleasurable, and not just hedonistic pleasure. But if you find meditating, chanting, playing a piano, finger painting, drawing with the grandkids or the kids, walking in the park, whatever your version of play is, romance, setting that up for yourself. And in Cancer can be very dreamy. Romance with a Cancer sun rising or moon, once they let you in and they trust you, or once you trust, if you're the Cancer energy, and let down the defense, then it can be a really romantic time. And sometimes romance is not, hot sex. Sometimes romance is holding hands and hugging and cuddling and just feeling nurtured, with a cup of hot soup and some freshly baked bread. And, even if you're keto, you can do it, right? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, universe, for these die. And thank you, Finn, my one and only child cosmic doodle kid of the universe. So does that make sense? Is this making sense? Because when you start to really nurture yourself, you can come and listen to me and it feels good and you feel supported. But if you don't act on any of the information that I'm giving you, this is just a throwaway. This is something to spend your time on before you change the channel. And yeah, that's something you want to think about and ponder, because, sometimes we feel like we have all the time in the world, and we actually do. If your perspective is, it doesn't necessarily have to mean in this body. So, but most people don't have that perspective. They think, oh yeah, I got, I'll drop weight next month. I was just in the holidays, come on, what are you going to do? Or I'll get my finances together, or I'll get my estate planning together. So you want to look at where the lineup of Capricorn is in the polarity of the Cancer eclipse. Because with Mars in Sagittarius, Mars represents action. Sagittarius is very optimistic. It can be very extravagant at times, or cynical. It can be very gregarious, very magnanimous, very generous energy. But it's proactive and it's optimistic and it's, come on, let's get this done. Come on, we can do this. So we have the Mars and Sag anchoring the Capricorn lineup, so many planets in Capricorn, and opposite the Cancer eclipse. So what does that mean really for you? It means if you know where Capricorn is in your chart, then you've got a multitude of energy and portals that are opening for you right now to make sure, let's say, very briefly, if it's the first house, it's all about your style. It's all about your personal body hygiene and habits and helping your body heal and to set a new formula for that success. So if you're staying up really late at night, and you're eating a lot of carbs and sugar, that's not going to support you. If you're always giving to other people and not have any boundaries, that's not going to support you. Right? So the Capricorn lineup in the second house is all about your self-worth, your finances, your income. Capricorn lineup and with the opposite, it brings in the opposite energy. And every house in astrology has an opposite house. So the first and the seventh, the second and the eighth, the third and the ninth, so it brings in the opposite energy with the Cancer eclipse, anchored by the motivation of Mars. So your motivation right now is, what can you do to be proactive for depending on the lineup, for your identity, proactivity, for personal well-being and health and boundaries, for your finances, for self-worth, for the way you communicate and what you're bringing into your brain. If you're taking a training course, if you're giving a training course, if you're setting up a resume, if you're just learning how to let go of fear, that's the third house. Fourth house is all the stuff that's happening in the home. Could be an elder is passing away because Pluto is there. It could be that, and the opposite is the 10th house. If you've got a lineup of Capricorn in the fourth house, the opposite is the 10th house, so it could be either masculine or feminine parent, which affects your career. You see what I'm saying? So the fourth house is your identity, is your home, your four walls. So the Capricorn lineup is saying reconstruction. Yeah. Fifth house, it's all about romance, creativity, children, problem solving, possible grandchildren. The sixth house with the Capricorn lineup is all about your health, about the work you do, the procedure, how you even sit at your desk, what kind of chair you're using. Do you hunch over? Do you sit up? Do you get up and stretch? Do you take care of your health while you're working? Or are you lobbying for a cause? Seventh house is all about relationships, all about partnerships, marriage, and business partnerships as well, but also about fans and possible adversaries that come to bring you information about what you've been doing or not doing for that group, for yourself, for the team. Mutual or moot aspects in the seventh house. Eighth house is all about the doorway to the spiritual world, yes, but first it gets your attention through the passing of someone or an inheritance or setting up your estate planning and also your physical health. Because if you don't have that spiritual door open with Capricorn lineup in the eighth house, your fears have to come out about death, about endings first, because there really is no such thing. Yes, it is sad when a person passes away, when a pet passes away, when your job ends and you are going into retirement, or when something leaves your life. That is a very sad feeling, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a negative feeling, right? Because maybe you're letting go of an addiction. Maybe you're letting go of a person in your life who's toxic. Maybe you're letting go of a pattern that doesn't serve you. That's the whole point of this lineup. Capricorn lineup in the ninth house is all about travel, contracts, higher philosophy, higher spiritual codes that you want to implement, and utilizing the law possibly to do that, maybe setting up new contracts or a new website or a business, or taking on a new client that has specific principles, or that you say, I won't work for anyone who, has this belief system, or I won't rent my properties out to anyone who, is an abuser, an alcoholic, has a record, So it depends on what's going on in your life with the ninth house and contracts, but it is about higher learning and tuning in. The lineup of Capricorn in the 10th house is all about your career, possibly about the masculine parent as well, and the life direction that you're going in, what you're choosing to do. Are you starting something up that's new? Are you looking to retire? Are you working on a trajectory for the future? And, with the Capricorn lineup in the 10th house, it is also about possible fame and recognition. So maybe you are recognized for something that you've done in the past. So you look back 12 years, 19 to 20 years, and then 19 to 20 years again. And then there's the Capricorn lineup in the 11th house, all about your friends, your dreams coming true, your wishes, the people that you allow into your circle, the people that you think are supporting you who are not. Because, remember, we've got the opposite going on with the Cancer lunar eclipse in the 5th house. So you may have a lover in your life that you work with and it's not working. Or perhaps it's the opposite. Maybe you're about to get engaged, and you're setting up a whole new tribe of family and friends, or taking on new responsibilities, because Capricorn is all about responsibility. The lineup of Capricorn in the 12th house is you are healing. You are healing big time. You are healing body, mind, spirit, karmic influences. You're bringing back fears from the past, from past existences on this plane and other dimensions. You are big time healing. So if you've got a Capricorn lineup in the 12th house, it's really important that you take care of your body, your mind, your spirit simultaneously. So you work a little, you play a little, you meditate a little, you get a massage, some Reiki energy, you nurture, you take supplements, you do whatever you have to do to bring up that fear. And so you can let it go. And whatever the fear is attached to, that's the core of the suffering. So if you've got Capricorn lineup in the 12th house, you can literally see the light. You can have that aha moment. You can let go of that illness, that trauma, that self-sabotage that's been holding you back. Maybe you were in a car accident. Maybe you had diabetes. Maybe, somebody in your life just passed away and you just can't seem to get a grip, on things or heal. Maybe it's none of that. Maybe you just are in your head spiraling things that are not true. So Capricorn line up in the 12th house is all about you healing and coming to terms with who you are and the powerful spirit that you are. So one more card. Does this make sense? Is this helping folks to understand how to motivate yourself and utilize this powerful series of portals that we're having? I'm going to be back on, let me just check. We're also having deconstruction and reconstruction happening in my house with the bathrooms being done. So I will be back on Monday the 13th. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I won't. Tuesday the 14th at my usual time. Tuesday the 14th, I will be back and we'll talk more about these series of eclipses and the lineup. And it's not over this week, folks. You know, it goes on for months for people, especially if you've got any kind of Cancer or Capricorn in your chart. And I hope I know this was like speed dating. You know, we went so fast, but I want to spend more time with my kid before they drive off back to college. And I'm feeling pretty super hyped today about the possibilities. Yesterday and the day before, I was focused on the fear and the negativity and the not being able to control anything. And I've got my lineup is in the 12th house. So yeah, right? So in the meantime, but I brought it back. I brought it back with nurturing hugs, hand-holding, cozy things to drink, really healthy food, and just allowing and some herbs, some amino acids. You might want to explore ashwagandha, L-theanine, melatonin. These things can really help. SAM-E, help the moods, not to go overboard because they can actually produce the thing you're trying to stop. But do your research and take your time. How's everybody doing? That was fun. I'm going to pull one more card for the group before we go. And I'll be back on Tuesday, same time. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. 2 cards flipped out at the same time. Oh my gosh. I love this. Thank you, universe. I just love when this happens. Okay, this is the Enlightenment card. What happens when you heal? What happens when you heal? Is that focused? You can see like angelic wings in there. What happens when you heal? Enlightenment. And then you raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, that's when you start to magnetize all those things you've been wanting. And sometimes it's just a fact of being, just being who you are. And you feel, yeah, now I can make my contribution to the world. Right? Vicki says thank you and you're welcome. All right, folks, I wish you peace. Be sparkly, be present. Remember, the astrological life profile that I have for you is over 30 pages, depending on who you are, and it's your personal information and data. 1 email per profile, and it's only $37, and it's good for your entire life. So, and you can go over it and over it, and I have people writing to me who've gotten this Astro Life profile telling me like, oh my gosh, I got it from my mom, got it from my sister. It's so accurate. It's really helping us. I never knew that I had this planet in this sign. That makes perfect sense. You know, when Mercury goes retrograde, la, la, la. So you want to consider that, because really, don't you want to invest in yourself? I think you do. That's what we're talking about here. Self-love, folks. Peace. Thanks for being here. I'll see you again on Tuesday.